Hello guys. Now in this video we're gonna talk about two things: how important is to stick with the same car if you wanna take the maximum from yourself and the car, and the second thing is, for years I have that problem. Before every start my heartbeat was rising a lot, my adrenaline was skyrocketing, and I had difficulties even to see the first few corners. And for years I was doing that research to see what I can do about it, and I finally found that breathing technique which I'm gonna share with you. And if you are someone like me, that can be really beneficial for you. So that being said, let's dive in. So after the disaster of my last year World Rallycross Championship, I really decided to escape a little bit from that competitive racing, and I wanted to enjoy a little bit myself with different sims, cars, and I wanted also to try to help the community as much as I can with those videos. And the last month and a half, my teammate George Simmons asked me to make the VLN series with him in the TCR class, and well, I jumped in with him, and I was just doing those races without really serious practicing, and we were going very well. And the reason is because George is really fast driver, and I was just helping with my stint a little bit to keep our position. We are currently second in this championship, and a week and a half ago, or probably 2 weeks ago, a really strong team asked George and me to join for the 24 hours in the same class, and I really wanted to go well, so I dive really hard in that car. And I've driven that car for about a week, on week 13 when they bring it on the service last August after the Sim Expo, and I was fast that first week, but 6 months later people were getting really close to the limits of the car, and there is some people who are really specialists on this front wheel drive car. So I know I had to work a lot, and that was the reason I jumped for the last 2 weeks. And now I'm gonna show you the result. What is the difference just casually driving the car once a week, and what is the difference when you really dive into that car and really try and don't waste your time with other cars for 2 weeks, at least in my case. And the results are just amazing. They really amaze me. Well, keep in mind that I really have a lot of experience with Nürburgring, and I also have some world records with Kia Optima in VLN series, so it's not like I'm learning the track and that's the reason I'm getting faster and faster. So I know the track very well, but I start a week before the 24 hours. I start to making a stint every day. After work I just sit down, I make my stint and just go to sleep, and next day I do another stint and go to sleep. And you can see my times improvement day by day till I hit the day before the race the world record with this car in the practice sessions. Well, the race didn't go really our way, even if Jack Sedgwick made amazing lap and got the qualify here on the first stint, and he was leading the entire stint, but our first pit stop really go completely wrong, and getting out of the pit stop we were like 7th position, and then start gaining the positions back step by step. Every single driver of our team, Craig, Joseph, George, Jack, did brilliant job, and around 18 hours of race we were in this situation.
3.5 seconds means that every time they get to a straight like this, Cohen Klopman looks up the road and he can see the rear wing and the tail lights of Craig's setup shop and friends, but he's not close enough to get any slipstream, any draft, any advantage that would help him close this gap. Look how tail happy that TCR is coming into these fast corners for Stelian Trepolevsky. That's that might be a bit of the rallycross driver showing.
Yeah, quite literally. I mean, the DCRs, you don't really expect them to be tail happy because they're, of course, front wheel drive cars. But when the rear tires do get a bit worn out, you do get to see things like this happen. And Chepelevsky, that is exactly what he's facing at this point in time. So currently in P2, and 3.7 seconds between him and the full send racing car of Coin Kloppman. This battle has been going on for a long time, and for as long as I can remember, these guys have been completely next to each other. And the full send racing car, well, they haven't really been able to make the most of it. As far as I remember, the last time we focused on them, they were around 1.3, 1.4 seconds close to each other. And now that difference has extended to around 3.8 seconds. So Chepelevsky, although he's seen his tires just go away a little bit, he's doing a good job to maintain this position as the difference now goes up to 4 seconds. And for Coin Kloppman, well, P3 isn't too bad, to be very honest with you, in such a prestigious race like this one. But you certainly want to get one place better, just one place higher than you already are. And for that, he needs to put in a mighty good effort to try and maybe get into P2.
And finally, after 18 hours of really hard work from everyone of the team, something really bad happened. I pushed my system to the limits. I was streaming, and for 18 hours my computer just gave up. I got blue screen. We lost like 3 or 4 minutes and our race was done. We still finished top 5, but what I'm trying to say is, okay, forget about this. The main thing is you see in my case how much of difference make if I stick to one car. Like, I improve my driving almost 3 seconds in this case, which is quite extreme because it's Notch 5 and it's 100 and almost 200 corners. But if you wanna take the maximum from yourself and if you wanna take the maximum from the car, I think that's the way. Just stick to that car and try to take the maximum. So let's talk about a little bit the breathing technique I use. Now, as I said before, I have that problem my entire life. Before every important race, real life or sim racing, my heartbeat is really rising a lot and my blood pressure is super high. My adrenaline is skyrocketing, and that really blocked my reaction times, and I even sometimes feel like I don't see very well what is going on in front of me for the first minute or minute and a half. And I was doing my entire life this research, but finally I found that Wim Hof breathing technique, which works absolutely perfect for my case. And the reason is Wim Hof technique is actually very beneficial for your health, and you can do it every day. It's absolutely amazing for your immune system. But the reason works in that case for me is because with this technique you really rise your adrenaline level consciously, and actually you can put your adrenaline level about twice higher than jumping with bungee. So it's so powerful. And now I consciously put my adrenaline in really high level. I put a lot of oxygen into my bloodstream and my brain, and at the time I have to start, everything is really calmed down and I am super concentrated. So it's worth to make the research of this technique, because as I said, I do it not just for racing. I start doing this for my immune system, but I found this work absolutely perfect for that case in racing. Well, that being said, I hope you will take something from that video, and I will let my fastest lap on Nürburgring running out till the end of the video, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.